everyone, so it's Miss T here. I just wanted to do a little quick video in comparison to this, sort of looking at the different options for teacher training. There's quite a few. I've personally got experience with school-centred initial teacher training, or SCIT as most places call it, but I did consider doing the university route after doing 3 years my undergrad and then a year's masters, which yes is the wrong way round, but I thought some of this might be helpful, especially as we're coming up to Christmas now, where people start thinking about applications in January. So my first thoughts on teacher training, I was going to go right in when I did my undergraduate degree and just do a straight primary teacher training course. I don't remember who or why I changed my mind, but I thought it would be a sensible idea to undertake an education studies course, which isn't about teaching like everybody thinks it is. It does have some of that element in it, but it's more to do with policy, history, impacts that influence it, learning styles. Now, I absolutely loved my education studies course. I had some great lectures. Had some not rubbish ones, but they just weren't the best. But the ones that we had that were good were amazing. And there were a couple in particular, one of which I actually had for my masters that I've just finished. And he's so inspirational, literally, and I hate that word inspirational because I think it's such a cliche, but he was. His passion for education and educating everyone, regardless what country you're in, whatever your background, was just phenomenal, and obviously his knowledge, he was a doctor as well, so, but yeah, just, he was fantastic, and whilst that's not my point, I think it does really help if you have a lecturer who's sort of done everything, seen everything, and isn't sort of in your face about their opinions. Actually have your opinion, but be critical towards it, which I think is hard to come by sometimes at university. Whilst your lecturers are extremely important at university, I have in fact digressed from the topic I initially wanted to speak about. So, I chose education studies over teacher training because I wasn't confident in myself that I could be a good teacher. I'm still on the borderline. I'm sort of 70% at the moment. I think I've learned that that's a normal thing for most people. Anyway, I really wasn't confident. I wanted to teach, but I wasn't confident that I'd be a good teacher, and I'd probably find that I'd change my mind halfway through. So that's why I chose education studies for the 3 years. So I thought that having a good knowledge of education, backgrounds and everything else, after meeting the lecturers, it all seemed so just exciting really. And I know education might be really boring, but to me, I love learning, and learning how other people get excited about different parts of it just excites me, so that was great. And I thought I could do my PGCE as an extra year if I really wanted to, and I decided I felt ready to go into teaching, by which time I'd already done numerous different volunteering opportunities that I'd sourced myself, not through the uni. And yeah, however, as universities do in your final year, which you can go to at any point to be fair, I had a careers meeting. Now, I don't know whether it was the person who was doing my meeting or whether I just wasn't ready. Either way, I feel it better to have the best. But I went to my careers meeting and he said, "Why do you want to be a teacher?" after lecturing me about all the good qualities of a teacher, and I was like, "Well, now you said that, I don't really know, I'm not sure." I said, "I want to help people learn, but that's about it." And his response basically was, "Well, if you can't be sure why you want to teach, why on earth do you want to be a teacher?" So, of course, I left that meeting feeling very panicked, very stressed. I came home and cried because this is what I'd been working towards, and I was actually thinking more along the lines of I wanted to be a teacher by the time I'd almost finished my undergrad. And it it was sort of soul destroying to me that had I done education for 3 years to not go into teaching, what would I do? Where could I take this now? So I decided to do some different volunteering based on jobs in schools, sort of mentoring mental health, but not in a teaching position. I didn't want to be a teaching assistant. I knew that. If I wanted to have anything to do with teaching, I wanted to be a teacher, definitely. But maybe I wasn't quite at that point yet. So I left university, went to work in a local college for a year in special education needs, which actually my undergraduate was specific in. And then really after that, I worked at a high school, sort of in a mental health role as a pastoral support coordinator. And basically, by Christmas, I think because the teachers I'd worked with, some of them were so good, I was just like, do you know what? I think I've got the confidence to do this now. I've got experience in mental health, I've got experience in SEN, I've studied education. Why not give it a bash? So I did. Now, after doing my masters, I pretty much decided that university, I wasn't interested in going back to it, if I'm honest, which obviously the skip does have university elements to it. And I will have a PGCE when I finish, which is the most important thing because you can have school-centred initial teacher training without a PGCE, which can make it very hard for you to get a job if you don't have the PGCE. But I knew a few people who ran it from the school. I knew some people who'd done it, and it just sounded great. When it came to my interview, I had some very good guidance on how I should sort of conduct myself, and maybe the first time round when I was sort of planning it, I didn't plan it to sort of show myself off, which is what you have to do. You have to have real confidence and self-belief in yourself to sell yourself as a possible teacher. And I changed that and I did that, and because I focused on how I want to have an inclusive classroom, I want the children in my class to know that difference is absolutely fine. I want it to be a safe, stimulating environment. And literally the interview that I had, I hate interviews, and I know most people hate interviews, but I literally before I came to an interview. But this is the best interview I'd ever had. Literally, I was prepared. People that were interviewing me were lovely, they were supportive. They could clearly tell I shared the same interests as them. And really, it happened so quickly. And then literally, I think it was about an hour later, I got an email saying that they wanted me on the course if I wanted to go. So I accepted, and then here I am. Now, the school-centred initial teacher training approach is what it says on the tin, basically. You are in school, so you go on training day on your day 1 to the training centre, sign all your paperwork off, get to know the ins and outs. Day 2, you are in school for 8 days to get to know your surroundings, get to know your class, do some observations, and then you have 2 weeks to do some training, and you're back straight into placement. Now, my current placement is up until Christmas, and I've got another placement between Christmas and Easter, and I should go back to my first placement for the rest of the year. And I think for me, before the course started, everyone was saying, oh well, if you get to go in to your placement from day 1, it makes a big difference, you feel part of the school, you know what's going on. And I was like, really? Because with PGCE University, you're sort of not in for a good few weeks. And it was really important that the children got to know me as their teacher from day 1, and if I wasn't there, well, maybe I was on training, but I was the teacher. And that really worked so well for me, and yeah, I loved it. So I've been on a training week this week, and so you do have the odd ones in a year. I'm being observed next week for the first time from my skips, sort of person that runs a skip. And that'll be interesting because I've been observed by my mentor, but not observed by someone else, which could be a bit daunting. But I'm loving it so far, and I think somebody who's done so much of uni, if you want to get in there and you want to get practical experience, which you can actually write about in order to gain QTS, go for it. Now, whilst you do obviously get feedback as you do in any teacher training, and you might feel criticised, and which I do, I think we do beat ourselves up, and I've been told that by teachers who still observe now after years of teaching. But I do think that actually, by me reflecting on that, I'm encouraging myself to be a better person. I'm not a bad person, but I feel a lot stronger in myself. I feel more capable. And knowing that my class are learning from me just gives me the strength to carry on. So I think it's well worth looking into if that sounds like something you'd be up for. And also the building of the relationship with the children. It's one of the most important things. You know, there are countless amounts of studies that say that basically you don't have a relationship with a child, they're not going to learn from you. They will not. They won't want to learn. And that's part of the thing with learning. You have to be motivated, and you have to be aware, and you have to be engaged. And if you don't have that relationship, you have very little chance of any of that happening. So it's really important that you sort of need to focus on what you want to gain from teaching. If you have any other questions about teacher training and if you're sort of on the fence about anything, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment or send me a message. Follow me on Instagram at Miss T Trainee. I am a new trainee. I've got a lot of experience in education practically and studying it. So I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I can share my thoughts with you. So yeah, anything you